Our first suspect is Arthur Lee Allen. In 1958, Allen was less than honorably discharged from the Navy after 2 years of service. He went on to become an elementary school teacher until he was fired in 1968 for molesting a student. He became depressed and started drinking heavily. Due to a lack of money, he moved in with his parents in Vallejo County, which was within close proximity from the first two murders. In 1971, his former friend Don Cheney went to the police and claimed that on January 1st, 1968, Allen told Cheney that he wanted to kill couples at random, taunt the police with letters, and call himself the Zodiac. Also during this meeting, Allen showed Cheney a Zodiac brand wristwatch which bears the same symbol the Zodiac killer used. In 1972, the police got a search warrant for Allen's trailer, but found nothing incriminating other than a large dildo.
I'm telling you right now, this is not the guy. I'm just saying it, like, I get why he would be a suspect. He's not the guy.
This is the most popular suspect of all.
Well, everyone's fucking wrong, because he's not the Zodiac killer.
During the search, they also took a sample of Allen's handwriting and fingerprints. During an interview with Detective John Lynch, Allen bragged about being a Zodiac suspect and also randomly told Lynch that on the day of the Lake Berryessa attack, he had bloody knives in his car which he used to kill chickens.
Allen seems like a fucking idiot. I feel like I'd have a conversation with Allen, and the entire time in the back of my head, while he's talking to me, I'd be like, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. In 1974, Allen was arrested for another child molestation and was sentenced in 1975 but got out in 1977. In 1991, George Bauer got a warrant to search Allen's house where they found bomb diagrams, but nothing incriminating. One of the most underlooked clues about Allen is the fact that he was known to purposely misspell words in order to be funny. Words such as trigger mech, Xmas, and other words that coincided with misspellings used in the Zodiac letters. With all that in mind, there's plenty of evidence to show that Arthur Lee Allen isn't the Zodiac. Allen doesn't match the physical description of the Zodiac killer. Allen was about 50 pounds heavier and balding at the time. Neither the fingerprints or handwriting sample taken in the 1972 search was a match. Allen was ambidextrous in writing, but he was truly left-handed, and the Lake Berryessa murder was done with the right hand. In the 2000s, Allen's longtime friend Glenn Reinhardt told newspapers and interviewers that he was sure Allen would never kill anyone. Before he died in 1992, Allen cried in an interview because of all that he was put through for being a Zodiac suspect. When his trailer was searched after his death, a note was found which was to be opened after his death, and it stated that he wasn't the Zodiac killer. But above all, any evidence against Allen is circumstantial, and there was little to no physical evidence gathered against him.
So, like, this Allen dude, I'm sure he probably envied the Zodiac killer.
That's what I'm saying, because he definitely...
He was not him.
He liked being a suspect. He bragged about it to people. I think he liked this idea that people thought he could be this big, tough guy who could kill people.
But he's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He isn't. But he liked this idea that people thought that. And then as he got older, he was like, hey, this isn't actually very cool. You know, I wasted my life pretending I was a fucking horrible person.
Which he deserves it.
He was. I didn't mention that he cried for you to feel bad for him. I just wanted to mention it because I feel like the Zodiac isn't somebody who would cry.
He would not cry about it.
I feel like he would be like somebody who, like, as he got older, he'd be more like, yeah, I was the Zodiac. And the letter, I think the letter is great proof. I think that I think the Zodiac killer would be the type of person to say in a letter after he died that, yeah, I was the Zodiac.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely deserved all the shit he got for being a suspect because of molesting children.
Yeah.
And he was only sentenced to 2 years for it, so. And I also sent you a photo of the brand Zodiac. Those are actual watches, and it's the name of the brand. The name of the watches are Zodiac, and they have the same symbol.
I don't think that.
I'm saying
any weight.
The name, and the symbol definitely came from that. There's no way that it didn't come from the brand of the Zodiac watches.
Yeah.
Because, dude, it's the same symbol. I didn't show you the. Oh my god, dude! I didn't show you the Lake Berryessa thing. Okay, the next one I sent you was what he was wearing in the Lake Berryessa attack, And that one, and the symbol on his chest is the Zodiac symbol. That's the symbol he would send in his letters.
So with this photo, like it went over his head and it was all connected. It came down to his chest, right?
Mm-hmm. That was handmade.
It was handmade?
Yes. Well, he didn't like go out to the store and buy that, is what I'm saying.
So it was, yeah, but it was made from leather.
I don't know what it was made with. This next suspect knew how to work with leather.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
All right, let's get into our next suspect, and you might not see this one coming. Our second suspect is Arthur Lee Allen's former friend, Don Chaney. Even though Chaney was a big help to the police in the 70s and pointed police to Arthur Allen as the Zodiac, Chaney has proven that he may not be a trustworthy source. Chaney claims Allen got his watch in 1968, but Allen actually received it as a gift from his mother in '67. Chaney told investigators the last time he ever saw or talked to Allen was January 1st, 1968. During this encounter, Allen was upset about being fired from his teaching job, but Allen was actually fired in late 1968. Chaney also told Tom Voight in an interview that he actually last saw Allen on January 1st, 1969. In the 90s, when the San Francisco police said that they would try pulling DNA off from stamps the Zodiac Killer could have licked, Chaney claimed that Allen had him lick his stamps during their last meeting on January 1st. But the first letter was sent in July of '69, almost 7 months after the last time Chaney saw Allen. Some speculate Chaney could be trying to frame Allen because reportedly Allen had inappropriately touched Chaney's young daughter. But Chaney still remained friends with Allen even after this reported incident, and in Tom Voight's interview, Chaney admits this, saying that they remained friends for at least 7 months to a year before the last time they spoke. Also, Tom Voight reportedly interviewed Chaney's daughter, and she said that she had never heard about this incident before. She would have been a toddler at the time and wouldn't have remembered it, but it's likely somebody like her mother would have told her at some point in her life. Chaney also knew mathematics, which some people speculate the Zodiac must have known. Chaney was also an avid big game hunter and would go on long hunting trips. In the 90s, Detective George Bauer got Chaney to do a lie detector test, but Chaney showed up hungover after getting drunk the night before. When they rescheduled it, the test came back as inconclusive. In a letter to Tom Voight, Chaney misspelled the word victim, which was another word that the Zodiac Killer misspelled in his letters. Drew Breeson, a Zodiac YouTuber, also found that Don Chaney was related to somebody who had the last name Paradise, spelled P-A-R-A-D-I-C-E, which was another word that was misspelled in the Zodiac letters. Physically, Don Chaney matches the Zodiac profile. He was 6 feet tall, weighed about 200 pounds, barrel-chested, light brown hair with a widow's peak, and at the time he would have been around 35 years old. But there are reasons Chaney may not be the Zodiac, including the fact that, like Allen, all evidence is circumstantial. Don also moved to Pomona, California sometime in 1969, which is more than 7 hours from Vallejo, California, where the murders happened. Chaney's fingerprints taken by Bauer didn't match, but as mentioned earlier, it can't be confirmed that the fingerprints were from the Zodiac. Chaney's handwriting also wasn't a match either, but Chaney has never had a DNA test.
I feel like this is the guy because he's kind of an outlier. I feel like he's kind of using Allen as like a buffer.
As a scapegoat, yeah.
Because he's like, Alan's a fat fucking idiot. He kind of looks like me.
I send you photos of him.
I don't know. That widow's peak is pretty prominent.
Yeah.
It's not really like the sketches.
But it's better than Allen looked, though.
Yeah, but also what year was this photo taken? Black and white?
That one was taken, I think, when he was in the Navy. And that must have been like 10 years before the murders. And then the next one on the right was taken around the time that the Zodiac murders would have happened. But when you take into account that Arthur Allen had the Zodiac watch, which bared the same symbol and obviously had the name Zodiac, and then you take into account that this guy, Allen, would purposely, it was a known fact that he would purposely misspell words just to be funny.
Yeah.
And that, like, you have to, like, take those things. It's like, how many people do you know that actually, like, will commonly misspell words to be funny? Not through a text, but, like, in anything.
Not many. I mean, I misspelled damn. I put D-A-M.
Yeah.
But
that's not, like, he would do this with, like, common words. Like, everything, too. Not like you and damn.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah.
And
that's
then...
pretty rare.
And then when you take into effect that these, like... The Zodiac, the symbol the killer used and the name must have come from the watch. There's no way it didn't. And then when you take into fact that they aren't popular
I
watches,
wonder where the watch got their symbol from, because they might have taken it from something else.
well, even if they took it from something else, they had it before the Zodiac was even a thing.
Yeah.
But when you take into those two fucking uncommon things about Alan, you have to realize that it probably was somebody who was connected with Alan and knew him. And then I know the whole Paradise that Don Cheney being related to somebody with the name Paradise being spelt weirdly is weak, but like it's still something. Like it's still rare and it's still something.
Interesting.
Our third suspect is Lawrence Kay, commonly known as Kane. In 1942, Kane was part of the Navy's Radio Material School where he learned coding. He has a long criminal rap sheet that goes as far back as the 1940s. Kane bears resemblance to the Zodiac sketch and is 5'9". Letters spelling out Kane can also be seen in the Zodiac My Name Is cipher. Darlene Farron's sister identified a photo of Kane saying that he went to the same cafe Darlene worked at and would stalk her. But Darlene's sister has also identified 6 different people as the supposed stalker. In 1987, Officer Falk was given a picture of Kane, and he said Kane bears resemblance to the man he saw walking, but cannot be 100% sure. Let's quickly look into another possible unconfirmed Zodiac case that occurred in 1970. One night, Kathleen Johns and her baby were given a ride by a stranger after a car broke down. During the drive, the man started talking about how he was going to kill her and her baby. Luckily, she escaped from the car, and when she went to the police to report the incident, she saw a wanted sign of the Zodiac Killer and claimed that he was the man that tried to kill her. When she was later shown a photo of Kane, she stated that he was the man who tried to kill her. In one of his letters, the Zodiac mentioned a woman and her baby that were on his kill list, but this abduction most likely wasn't the work of the Zodiac. His letter was sent months after the abduction happened, after it had been on the news, and the abduction doesn't fit his MO. He most likely just wanted to take credit for it. Let's look into some evidence showing Kane isn't the Zodiac. When investigated by police, Kane's fingerprints and handwriting samples were taken and neither were a match. While Kane also looks similar to the Zodiac sketch, he doesn't have the heavy-set body that was described, weighing approximately 160 to 180 pounds. As for the Kathleen Johns incident, she stated that her abductor was 30 years old, but Kane would have been 46 at the time.
He looks super similar.
But then again, there's probably like fucking thousands of people who live there that look
I
similar.
can't imagine how many people look similar, have similar handwriting, have similar like MOs.
Yeah, and a crew cut in the 70s was probably pretty fucking common.
Yeah, that's like every haircut ever.
Yeah. And also, like, the weighing it, he would be like 30 pounds.
Also, stocky
lighter.
builds. I feel like dudes were just stockier back then, like 70s and 80s.
Yeah. Now they're just fat.
Yeah, they're just fat as fuck now.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know about this one, but yeah, I do like the first two. Out of all of the suspects I looked at, these first 3 were the best. And then, but the next one is just he's popular now, but I don't think it's him. In fact, I'm like 90% sure it isn't this guy, but I just wanted to include him. Our fourth and last suspect is Gary Francis Post. In the past few years, a team of over 40 professionals who work to solve famous unsolved crimes called the Case Breakers brought forward their suspect as Gary Francis Post. In the 70s, Post formed a posse of young men he referred to as killing machines. He would take them into the mountains and teach them how to kill. One member of the posse, a man referred to as Will, fled the group and went to the FBI and Case Breakers about Post. Post was arrested in 2016 for assaulting his wife, and he was found to be mentally incompetent for jail, resulting in him being put in a state hospital where he stayed until his death in 2018. Post is 6 feet tall, but his weight during the time of the murders cannot be confirmed. But there's plenty of evidence to show that Post may not be the Zodiac Killer, including the fact that there is no evidence to show that Post is the killer. The Case Breakers claim that Post has scars on his forehead similar to the lines on the composite sketch of the Zodiac, but the lines on the sketch are wrinkles to indicate age. They were never claimed to be scars. Post has a photo of a shadow that looks like the costume the Zodiac Killer wore during the Lake Berryessa murder, but this shadow could literally be anything. The Case Breakers also are always mentioning the fact that the FBI and Vallejo police ignore their claims that Post is the killer. They have even said that the FBI knows that Post is the killer but won't publicly say it. Why would they do this? We don't know.
No, this guy looks fucking nothing like him.
And here is the photo he has of the silhouette of the costume that he wore for the Lake Berryessa murder.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
And they claim they claim that this
That's
is
such a dumbass fucking photo. What fucking idiot said that was related?
the Case Breakers, bro. Team of over 40 professionals.
That case breaker is a fucking idiot. I want to slap that dude in the face. This is a, what even is this?
It's a
Piece
piece
of
of
wood.
It's a piece of wood with a shadow, bro. It's the silhouette
What
of the costume
shadow?
of the silhouette.
What fucking shadow?
I don't
What fucking
know.
shadow? What is that?
I don't know,
That's
bro.
a fucking 2x4. It's a sheet of plywood. There isn't even a shadow.
They say this is evidence.
What fucking idiot says this is evidence? I want his job because I could do it better. This is so stupid.
Dude, it's the Case Breaker.
What the fuck is
They're a
this?
team of over 40 professionals. They have to be.
Dude,
They have to be legit.
Dude, leave this guy alone. This guy did nothing wrong.
So pretty much their evidence that he is the Zodiac is that he was an asshole in the 70s. So if you were an asshole in the 70s, you were the Zodiac killer.
My dad was in this asshole in the 70s.
So who do you think it was?
That was a good video. I think it was the second suspect.
Don Cheney?
Dang.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it was either Don or Alan, but I'm willing to bet that it was Cheney.
Yeah, I'd put my money on Cheney.